Hello everybody, hopefully you can hear me. I want to come to everybody today, or come to you if you're new to the channel or you've been coming to the channel. This video is going to be for everybody, so thanks for tuning into my video. And here we go. We're going to talk about this 2019 Infiniti Q50S Signature Edition 3.0T turbo car. Okay, let's jump right into it. All right, the big thing I'm going to make this video on is today about this car. Do I have any regrets? And I will be straight up with everyone. There's a lot of new people that come and are looking at buying this particular car, the 3.0T or a 3.7. The big question is, to a lot of people that I get responses from is, you know, which one should I get? And ultimately, I'm a biased a Q50 owner. I would go to the 3.0T route with the turbos, just more available with this car, depending on if you buy a 2016 to a 2022. Me personally, I would probably stick with buying new or pre-owned, certified pre-owned from an Infiniti dealership, but that's just me. But that guarantees kind of more that you get a great car to start with. But other than that, do I have any regrets? No, I have no regrets so far. And I've owned this car now coming up on 3 years. Soon it'll be 3 years. And man, I've liked this car so much. It does everything well. With a lot of people trading in their cars today, you know, and a lot of Q50 owners, you know, they spend all this money on their Q50. They've put a bunch of money in to make it to go fast. You know, $3,000 to $5,000 or maybe $7,000. And then, you know, just this pandemic came and, you know, and then someone's buying their car for more money. So all that money they put into it just kind of goes out the window in some regards, you know, but they put all that time and love into modifying their car, and just like that, boom, they want to sell it and get something else. So I'm in that same category where I put some money into it, probably $3,000, and I'm so happy with everything that I put on my car, and I'm so glad that I haven't done more. So let me talk about that. All right, all the parts on my car, what I've done: exhaust, I've done AMS intakes. You know, if you watch my videos, you'll know this and it'll be repetitive, but I've got the Ecutech tune. I've moved to the Hussein Racebox tune on the car, 93 octane. I haven't done anything more than that. Let's see, I've got the Z1 subframe bushing collars. I got R1 brake rotors and brake pads. Mishimoto catch can, and I do have some aftermarket wheels that are at home. These are more my winter tire setup, and they're just 245, so the traction with those rear 245s is pretty much ridiculous. It's non-existent, but I'm running back to my factory wheels, as you can see. So that's pretty much all my mods in my MagnaFlow catback exhaust. Everything I've done, I think is 100% worth it, and I would probably advise people from my perspective, you know, my opinion, that this is as much as you probably would want to go to keep your car reliable. My car is now almost 3 years old. I've thrashed on it. I don't typically always thrash on it. I take care of, I change my oil. I mean, I'm embarrassed to tell everyone, but I mean, I change between 3 and 4,500 miles, and sometimes it's more towards the 2,000, 2,500 miles, just because I'm not driving as much and the oil is sitting in the car over a longer amount of time. It's just cheap insurance. I can get a nice grade full synthetic oil for $21, and an oil filter, you know, it used to be $8, but now it's like $14. And I do the oil changes myself, and so it's very economical, and you know, for $30 every 6 months or something, it's very easy to do. But I think this car with the 3.0T, the most reliable it's going to be, and you could do and not worry about it, is 500 wheel horsepower. 500 motor horsepower and 500 torque. So other than that, I just think when you're doing all these different fuel mods and any other mods to that, and you're running this car up to 600 wheel horsepower or 550 wheel horsepower, that you're getting to a threshold that you can actually start to lose reliability. I mean, it's not going to be right away. The car's still going to run good, and it's going to run good for a while, but there's just no telling when you can start having problems. I want a reliable car for my 5 years of ownership, or however I'm going to own this car. I don't want to fret it. And I think at this level, the 500 horsepower at the motor and 500 torque, plus or minus, is a safe bet. The car runs awesome. It does everything I want. This car has been a fantastic car. All right, so just moving on, I wanted to bring a video about my car. I'm just always so excited to get in it. I know it's going to run. It runs really, really well for, you know, where I am in Dallas on the city streets. Over 500 motor horsepower is almost ridiculous to have. I don't go to the drag strip. I'm just running on the street. And even with the 430, 440, 445, you know, motor horsepower, wheel horsepower that this car makes, it's so difficult to put the traction down. And I'm two-wheel drive. I'm not all-wheel drive, and I saved, you know, probably about $4,000 right there when I bought the car over an all-wheel drive. But I wasn't really educated on this car when I bought it and the potential of it, and so I didn't even really consider all-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. That was not really my concern and my point of buying into this car. But once I bought it and I started to do a little bit of research about it and watching YouTube, and I learned about the potential of the 3.0T turbo car. And then that's when I got excited and I wanted to start modding it. But, you know, as a grown-up, I'm 51 years old now. You know, it's just kind of risky to drive around and haul ass and, you know, putting my car in risk and my life in risk, and most importantly, putting other people's lives in risk running this car, because it is so fast and accelerates so quickly. And, you know, when speeds increase, it's really easy to lose control of your car and endanger somebody else and their property. So other than that, man, I've just really enjoyed this car. You know, anyone that wants to buy one, like I said, I would advise buying one with a lot of records, a lot of, you know, like I maintain all my oil changes, and I've written them in the back of my manual, and, you know, documenting the mileage. And you want to buy a car with documentation, and you typically probably don't want to buy a lease car. I'm not saying that all lease cars would be a bad option to buy, but most of the time when someone leases a car, they have very little idea of taking care of the car and interest in taking care of the car, is what I'm meaning to say. So a lot of these things come up on leases, and you could buy into one that's just not a healthy car. Also too, just before I close out this video, I'm capturing all this on my drone, and so I'm going to be running out of battery power, but my drone camera is really, really good, and so I wanted to make this video solely on my drone in 4K. But other than that, I just think, you know, you wouldn't go wrong with buying the right 3.0T. And I'm just saying you want to buy into a really good car. But other than that, I'll just close out by saying, you know, these people that are doing these JB4s, you know, and that's a lot of people, because they've got this feeling that they can take their JB4 off and no one will know. But when they put on their JB4 or their JB1 and they turn up, you know, 4 or 5 or level 6, and they've had full downpipes or lower downpipes on it for years, and they're running this JB4. These cars need to be tuned for lower downpipes and full downpipes. That's just the point it is. You know, Hussein at Racebox and B-Tuned and all these people are now recommending that it's mandatory to have your car tuned when you add lower downpipes, because or full downpipes, because these car ECU and the turbos were designed around the catalytic converters. So when you take them off, the JB4 and the JB1 has no clue that you've removed your catalytic converters, and the ECU can only change up what it thinks is right to a certain degree. And so a lot of these cars that are blowing up and having damage, it's because of the owner has chosen to take a bad path and do things that are not healthy for the car. So I just wanted to make that clarified. I don't have downpipes, full downpipes or lower downpipes. I'm not opposed to them. When I was going to get lower downpipes on this car, I contacted my tuner, and he looked at my data logs and said, Brian, you really aren't going to get that much power, and I'm going to have to pay a certain amount to get retuned and the downpipes. He said, you're probably just as good, minus 5 horsepower if you, you know, didn't get them. And so he said the bigger advantage would be if I went full downpipes. Now that would be a mandatory retune for sure. So I haven't done that because downpipes are now pretty hard to get, and catted downpipes are $1,000, $1,500. So other than that, I just wanted to bring this video to everybody. It's a great car, and you will thoroughly love it if you get a good car. And I'm loving mine. And like I said, I'm coming up on 3 years of ownership. And you know, people have contacted me to trade my car in, the dealerships that know my mileage and that I own the car. And I've been like, no way, man. I'm holding on to my car. This is a great car. I'm not going to get gouged and buy one of your other cars or go to another dealership and get markup or pay full MSRP. So other than that, I appreciate you tuning in, checking this out. Hopefully my audio that I'm recording magically is going to match up to my drone, because my drone doesn't record audio, and I'll make this come out really well in 4K. All right, bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in.